Walt Disney, the master of imagination. Introduction: the man who created magic. Walt Disney. The name instantly conjures images of talking mice, majestic castles, and a world where magic seems real. Yet, behind the smiling face of the global brand lies the extraordinary and often turbulent story of one man, Walter Elias Disney. He was not just an artist or a businessman, he was a true pioneer of animation, a relentless innovator, and a master storyteller who permanently reshaped the entertainment industry. His work taught generations to believe in their dreams and proved that imagination, coupled with unyielding perseverance, is the most powerful resource of all. In a life marked by both great artistic successes and devastating financial failures, Disney built an empire founded on the simple philosophy that laughter is timeless and imagination has no age. Early life, a difficult beginning. Walter Elias Disney was born in Chicago, Illinois, in 1901. His childhood was far from the fairy tales he would later create. The family moved frequently, and Walt spent many of his formative years on a farm in Marceline, Missouri, which later inspired the look and feel of Main Street, USA in his theme parks. His relationship with his father, Elias, was often strained. Elias was a strict and sometimes demanding man who made Walt and his brothers work hard distributing newspapers in the early hours, even in harsh weather. Despite the difficulties, it was during these early years that Walt's passion for drawing and storytelling first emerged. He would draw pictures of the farm animals and sell small sketches to neighbors. This early talent was his escape and his solace. He was not a particularly strong student academically, but his creative mind was always active. During World War I, Walt lied about his age to join the Red Cross and served as an ambulance driver in France. When he returned home, he knew he did not want a traditional life. He wanted to draw, to create, and to tell stories. Education and challenges, the power of perseverance. Walt's formal art training was brief, but his education in life and business was extensive and often painful. His real struggle began when he moved to Kansas City and started his first animation studio, Laugh-O-Gram Films, in 1922. He hired young, talented artists, including Iwerks, who would become his lifelong collaborator. They created short, innovative animated films, but poor business management and financial problems soon led to disaster. In 1923, at the age of 22, Walt Disney filed for bankruptcy. This was a crushing blow, but Walt refused to be defeated. He famously saved enough money for a train ticket to Hollywood, carrying only a few dollars and a half-finished reel of film. He arrived in California not with the intention of joining the film industry as an actor or director, but determined to start fresh as an animator. In Hollywood, Walt and his brother Roy, the financial genius of the pair, established the Disney Brothers Studio. They soon created the successful character Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. However, a massive betrayal was about to strike. When Walt went to New York to negotiate a better deal for Oswald, he discovered that the distributor had secretly registered the rights to Oswald and had hired away most of Walt's key animators. Walt returned to California having lost his studio, his main character, and most of his staff. This event was a major setback, but it profoundly taught him the value of owning the creative rights to his work. Major breakthrough, Mickey Mouse and innovation. Defeated but wiser, Walt was determined to create a new character that he, and only he, owned. It was on the train journey back from New York that he conceived the idea of a simple mouse. He first named him Mortimer, but his wife, Lillian, suggested the more cheerful name, Mickey Mouse. Mickey's debut in 1928, in the short film Steamboat Willie, was not just the introduction of a new character, it was a technological revolution. Steamboat Willie was the first cartoon to feature synchronized sound, meaning the movements on screen perfectly matched the audio. This innovation instantly distinguished Disney from his competitors. Audiences were captivated. Mickey Mouse quickly became a worldwide sensation and the foundation of the Disney empire. Walt continued to push the boundaries of animation. He risked everything to create the first feature-length animated film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, 1937. At the time, critics mockingly called it Disney's folly, believing audiences would never sit through an 83-minute cartoon. Nevertheless, the film was a massive financial and critical success, proving Disney's vision and securing the financial future of the studio. Furthermore, he introduced the multiplane camera for films like Bambi and Fantasia, adding unparalleled depth and realism to his animation. Personal life and leadership style. Walt Disney married Lillian Bounds in 1925, and they had two daughters, Diane and Sharon. Lillian was often described as Walt's emotional anchor and the quiet force behind his sometimes volatile personality. Walt's personality was complex. He was known for his incredible creativity and his demanding pursuit of perfection. His artists often referred to him as a creative genius who could see the final result long before anyone else. He was deeply involved in the creative process of every film, famously plussing scenes, meaning taking an idea and making it better and more surprising. However, his passion also led to periods of intense stress and moodiness. He suffered from immense pressure, especially during the financially challenging years of building the studio. This stress contributed to periods of illness and a famous strike by his animators in 1941, which highlighted his struggles as a fair manager. In addition, he was an unstoppable workaholic, often prioritizing the studio over his personal well-being. Despite his flaws, his ultimate legacy among his staff was one of unwavering vision and an ability to inspire absolute devotion to the dream of creating magic. Later years and the legacy of parks. In the 1950s, Walt Disney turned his attention from the screen to the physical world, driven by a desire to create a safe, clean place where parents and children could have fun together. He imagined a place where his animated characters could truly live. This ambitious project was Disneyland, which opened in California in 1955. Building Disneyland was another huge financial gamble, requiring Disney to personally invest nearly all his life savings and find creative ways to secure funding, including entering the emerging world of television. Disneyland was an immediate, resounding success, completely redefining the concept of the modern theme park. Consequently, it changed the tourism industry forever. Before his death from lung cancer in 1966, Walt Disney was working on his most ambitious project, the experimental prototype Community of Tomorrow, or Epcot, which was part of the massive Florida property now known as Walt Disney World. His final vision was not just a theme park, but a futuristic city where innovation and urban planning would constantly evolve. Walt Disney's legacy is monumental. He received 22 Academy Awards, more than any other person in history. But his most significant contribution is the enduring belief in the power of storytelling to inspire wonder, joy, and hope. He showed the world that a simple mouse, born from a moment of crisis, could become a symbol of creativity and perseverance for the entire globe. Conclusion: the magic of moving forward. Walt Disney's life is a masterclass in turning adversity into triumph. He was bankrupt, betrayed, and mocked, yet he always maintained a powerful, singular vision. His biography teaches us that failure is not the opposite of success, it is simply part of the journey. Every time he failed, he learned a critical lesson that propelled him to his next, greater achievement, from synchronized sound to the feature film, and from film to theme parks. His famous quote, "All our dreams can come true, if we have the courage to pursue them," remains the powerful core of his legacy. If you have a passion, whether it is mastering a language or starting a new business, remember Walt Disney. His career proves that relentless effort and a refusal to give up on your original vision are the true keys to creating an unstoppable, magical success story.
What an inspiring story! Walt Disney proved that even the biggest failures can lead to the greatest successes. We have 2 actions for our learners today. 1. Tell us in the comments which of Walt Disney's failures, losing Oswald or the initial bankruptcy, taught him the most valuable lesson. Share your opinion below. 2. Don't let your learning stop here. Subscribe to English Story Source right now to unlock more inspiring biographies and essential language lessons every day. Thank you for challenging yourself to learn English with the Masters of Imagination.